Hi guys, this is Open Journal. Welcome. My name is Hav Medina of Deep Tech, and one of the most important things I've learned over the years is that the hallmark of every successful trader you'll meet is a clearly well-defined system or methodology on how you want to engage markets. So today, allow us to share with you our system. Welcome to episode 1. In the discipline of technical analysis, it is pretty much known that prices move in trends. And as trends work out over time, it is those trends or a collective of those trends that actually form what we call cycles. Now, cycles are a collective of trends, and over a much longer period of time, it is the collective of these cycles that actually form what we call markets or a market. Now, a market can be a market for an individual stock. That could be, let's say, for example, Ayala Land. That could be a market for a cryptocurrency. Let's say that could be your Bitcoin over here, or it could be as simple as a market for a particular index, whether that could be the PSCI index or the Hang Seng index. The whole point is that markets over a long period of time consists of cycles. Now, from my experience, the best way to illustrate how cycles work, or the easiest way to understand cycles in general, is through a framework called the stock price maturation cycle, provided by US investing champion Mark Minervini. And what this framework teaches is that each stock, or any financial security for that matter, will go through 4 stages. It means that a stock will start with some form of a neglect phase, and then will enter into an advancing phase before it starts to top. And then after it tops, it will enter some form of decline. Now, what you guys need to understand very carefully is that whether you're a trader that's made their money or a trader that's looking to make their money, every trading system that most people use, that majority of traders use, whether it's trend following, momentum, position, or scalping, majority of most trading systems try to focus the money making on this particular stage over here, when this is pretty much where the opportunity is. Now, from my own personal trading experience, and not just that, from also just being given the opportunity to learn from some of the best traders and technicians in their own respective fields, what I've learned is the best way to maximize an advancing stage 2 is essentially using the Elliott Wave framework. So what is Elliott Wave? Simply put, it is a sub-dialect inside technical analysis that helps us answer what Howard Marks' famed value investor terms as one of the most important questions to every trader or investor besides risk control, and that is the question of where are we exactly in the cycle. Not only does Elliott allow us to answer this question, but it also helps us with a framework that allows us to trade the cycle in an effective manner. So how does it work? What Elliott Wave teaches is that instead of a neglect phase, we have what we call a wave 1 and a wave 2. And then instead of an advancing phase, which is where majority of traders participate in, that is what is usually labeled as wave 3. And then you have a topping phase, which Elliott labels as wave 4 and wave 5. And then lastly, that decline phase is labeled as an A, B, and a C. And then the market cycle ends, and now it's ready to resume another cycle starting a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then A, B, C thereafter. Now, when most market participants think of the word cycle, the first thing that comes to their mind is the cycle that happens on the 5 to 8 year time frame. And why is that most common? Because that is what goes along with the business cycle or the economic cycle. What most people or market participants don't realize is that inside the 5 to 8 year market cycle, you have what we call smaller cycles or intermediate cycles. In the same way that inside intermediate cycles, which is its own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, you also have smaller time frame cycles called the minor cycles or the minute cycles or the minuet cycles, going down even to the intraday minute time frames. In the same way that you have cycles inside cycles inside cycles inside the 5 to 8 year cycle, you also have to understand that the market cycle, the 5 to 8 year, is a smaller part of the larger cycle. We have the secular cycle, which is the 15 to 25 year time frame, which is a smaller part of the larger super cycle, which is the 50 year time frame. And lastly, you also have a larger time frame, which is the grand super cycle, 75 to 100 years, which is another cycle that consists of smaller super cycles. Now that we've established that we have cycles inside cycles inside cycles inside cycles, we can now determine that Elliott offers us a certain DNA as to how to look at the market. And for us to be able to trade this DNA, we need to divide the DNA into two parts. First part is what we will call the impulse wave or the motive wave. And the second part is what we're going to call the corrective wave. After we've dissected into two parts, then as traders, we can now come up with a system and methodology that we can now use to effectively engage the market in a profitable manner.